Hi, everyone. Welcome to Creators and Coffee. I am Erica Sietsma, CEO and co-founder of Autofluencer. And with me today is Amanda Tugwell. Hey, Amanda.
Hi, everyone. So excited to be here.
So great having you back on the show. You had such great tips for us before for brands and wanted to talk to you this time about some tips for people that are doing builds, especially first timers, and some of those things that you wish you would have known when you were getting started. I love this topic. But before we get to it, if someone doesn't already follow you on social, Amanda J. Tugwell, if they don't already follow you on social, tell us a little bit about who you are and what your project is.
Awesome. Yeah. So I have an Instagram. My name is Amanda Tugwell. My Instagram is Amanda J. Tugwell. I started restoring a 1968 Ford Mustang about 3.5 years ago and learning about all the ins and outs and ups and downs of restoring a car for your first time. It's been such a great project, learning a ton and connecting with so many awesome people in this community. It's been great. I've learned so much.
I love it. I love it. It's so exciting. And I love people just jumping in and doing it, right? Because it can be intimidating. I've seen comments on pages like yours where people are like, oh, I wanted to do it, but I don't know if I can, or I don't know if I have the time. You could probably speak to that, like a full-time job and finding the time. So let's hear it. What are some of your tips for people that have maybe been thinking about it or just getting started, of things you wish you would have known when you were getting started out?
I have so many tips. And like I said, I'm always learning throughout this whole process. But I think first things first is you just need to follow your passion. If you've got a passion for something, go out and do it. Don't let anyone stop you.
I love this.
Being a female in the car industry, at first I was a little hesitant because my previous work, what I used to do full time, I was in the sports industry and I was one of a very few females, and it was very tough getting in that environment. But coming to cars, I was hesitant, a little intimidated, but I said, I have to do it. I need to do it. I just had that drive and passion and calling for it. So yeah, I was driving around one day in 2020 when COVID was all going down, and this car drove past me and it was a Tesla. And I was like, okay, there goes another Tesla. And then another Tesla drives past me again on the freeway now. And I keep seeing Teslas and, all those cars. And for me, it was when it was like a Stingray or a nice, really Corvette drove by. And I said, now that is a cool car. Like, the lines are so much different than cars that are built these days. And that's what it started for me. I said, I would love to get a car and restore it and learn everything about it and see what I can do. So I started posting on my Instagram. I learned a lot through that and just getting connected to the community. But yeah, first tip is follow your passion. My second tip, since I work full time, it's a balance. So I definitely want to say another tip would just be patient. Patience is huge, especially taking the pressure and the time commitments off of yourself in determining how long a project is going to take. I used to watch Bill from CJ Pony Parts, a lot of his how-to videos on how to restore a Mustang. And he would always end with a catchphrase, you'll be on the road in no time. And for me, a lot of those projects never were like quick 30-minute, 1 hour, 2 hour projects. A lot of the time, I would, for instance, when doing the brake project, I converted from the disc brakes. When I pulled those drum brakes off, I said, well, look at the suspension. This is bad. Like, I need to fix this too. So then that started the suspension. I said, okay, I need to pull the suspension. Then I said, well, look at all this. I need to restore all that. So that's how it kind of got started. And just to take that pressure off of yourself and realize, like, it's a journey. You're not in it for the short game. You're in it for the long haul. It's a marathon. It's not a sprint. You have to put the time in and allow yourself the time and the patience for that. So
that is such good advice. Yeah.
The third tip I'd say, and this is one that you kind of, for me, it was like a little bit of an ego hit because you have to ask for help. Sometimes you get to a project where you're like, I don't know how to move forward. What am I going to do? I am stuck. You hit that wall, right? And a lot of the solutions that I found when meeting like just some very tough projects, it would be on a forum from 15 years ago of some guy that said, here's the issue I'm having and here's how I resolved it. And seeing that and then applying it, I'm like, oh, this could work. And then getting different ideas from other forums and building this community that I have so far on Instagram, I've been able to reach out to people, and people have been very kind and reaching out back and saying, I actually haven't gotten too much of the you're doing it wrong stuff. I've gotten more of, hey, you should try it this way.
Right.
Anytime I've gotten that comment, it encourages me, because you take that pressure off. Why are you doing it that way? Instead, you're saying, maybe you should try it this way instead.
Yeah.
Reframe your mindset completely. And you're like, I can do this. I'm going to try it this way. Let's see if, Bob from Texas is right, and that's how I'm kind of going from it. Ask for help if you need to, for sure.
I love it. I love it. What else? What's another tip?
I talked about a little bit of doing your research. So that's definitely a huge thing, is making sure you don't just hop right in and do a project that you're not knowing about. You want to get some information and some prep on it, like what tools you'll need, the hardware you're going to use, that sort of stuff, and really set yourself up for success in that sense. So one thing that I'll do is before, I get really gung-ho over a project, I'm so excited to install my headers. I just finished painting them, but before I do that, I need to make sure I've got the hardware and all the tools set up and ready to go before I just pull everything off. So that's definitely one. And I'd say my very last tip, and this is an important one too, is celebrating your wins. So
I love that.
I think when you go to work or when you go to school and you get that A on your test, or you get that thumbs up from your boss, or hey, great job, there's no one in the garage that's going to sit there and be like, hey, nice work, Amanda. You did awesome. But you have to be that cheerleader kind of for yourself and saying, you got this. You did awesome. We just accomplished this. This is a battle. Right. Just having that verbal communication. And sometimes I'll my little treat to myself is going out to my favorite taco place. So I'll get myself some tacos after a really good win. And it's about creating that sense of yes, this is still a victory, even though it's not maybe at work or at school or something else that you got going on.
I love it. Well, those are great tips. Thank you so much. So let's recap them really quick. So very first one, follow your passion. Just get in and do it. I love that. Tip 2 is have patience, right? You're not necessarily going to be on the road in no time when you are a first timer. I love that. Tip 3 was
asking for help.
Don't be afraid to ask for help. Yeah. Yep. And combining that with do your research, but ask for help. Look for help. You can find it in unexpected places. Love it. And then that last tip being, what was the last one?
Celebrating your wins. And
celebrating wins. Okay. So yeah, that was one of my favorites. Yeah. I love that. That is such a good reminder. So Amanda, this was awesome. For any of you that are getting started, don't be afraid. Jump in.
Don't be afraid. Just get out there and do it. Try. You never know what's going to happen from it.
That's awesome. And you know what? You don't ever have to post those videos on Instagram if you don't want to, right? If it doesn't work out, you're like, oh, this is not my jam. Don't post it. It's fine. All right. Well, I love it. Amanda, one last thing. What is your favorite caffeinated beverage?
I'm going to go with Coca-Cola. I love it.
I love it. It actually matches. You should have brought a Coca-Cola to match your, what you're wearing. You're decked out in red and black. So love it. Okay. Well, Amanda, thank you so much. And good luck with the Mustang.
Thank you so much for having me. I had a great time with you. Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.